Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank God, you all are listening. Okay, so this class is going to be till 7 p.m. and then after 7 p.m. we have Aarti, which is Sandhya Aarti. Can I please request everyone to come please forward? Even if you want to leave, you can leave by going behind and across. But there are people who will be coming and it's always at the back. It's too much of crowd, people can't even stand. So please come in forward. And leave enough space at the back so people can come and go. Thank you. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Baladeva Jaya Subhadramaya. Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल. Does anyone knows what's the today's topic is? 12 Mahajans, yeah. And does anyone know? So obviously there are 12. So which number we are on? Somebody said 2? So there's no one who has been attending the classes of 12 Mahajan. Okay. So there are total 12 Mahajans. So what are Mahajans? What do you know by the word Mahajan? Yeah. So, Mahajans are those people, through them we follow their footsteps. So they are an exemplary to our dharma. So they are the one who have followed dharma very carefully and very strictly and very nicely in a way that they haven't made any mistakes in their life. They are like, in Hindi we say pakka. They are pakka in their dharmas. So they are called Mahajans. Good men is a very small and simple context. It's beyond good men. So there are sometimes they were quite strict with their rules. There are sometimes they were very strong with others. So good men, if you say good men sometimes cannot be strong. Good men fails to be strong on someone else. But say suppose for a child, if you ask a small child who is in kindergarten, who is your role model? The child's role model is his or her father. Because for that child, father is the best. Father is the complete, and father is the, full of qualities, but he is the one who has never made any mistake. Yes. Yeah? And he is pakka. So in dharmas also, dharma is very twisting. In Vedas, it's very flowery, jugglery words. It's very hard. Sometimes, somewhere in some page of the Vedas, it is said that you should be doing this. And the other page of the Vedas says, oh, you shouldn't be doing this. People get confused. And it's very hard to follow dharma in that stage. Being a human, when you're following something, obviously when you're doing it nicely, like, the Bollywood actors, or now the FIFA club, this World Cup is going on, we follow them. If we like someone, we follow them. We tend to follow them. So even in dharma also, when someone is following dharma very strictly, without making any mistakes, and following it with wholeheartedly, people who are following in that same scriptural or spiritual line, they tend to follow it, because we all need examples. We can't move ahead without examples. We will say in experiments also, in discovery also, we will see, has this been done before? And has this been done and carried away in a nice way? Was it a successful experiment? That way. So Mahajan is the one who has followed the instruction of dharma as per their varnashram, whatever varna they are, whatever ashram they are. As per that ashram, they have followed it, and based on what they have followed, we are following them. So because someone has followed it and they have achieved the goal, and goal is to reach to the Lord. Goal is to go back to Godhead. And if they have done it, definitely we can do too. And the manual, the guide is our scriptures. So basically they have followed the scriptures. That's Mahajan. So the first Mahajan was Swayam Brahmaji. So the Brahma is the topmost, like when you see the world and then the heavenly planets, and the top of the heavenly planets is Brahma Loka. So Brahma is the father. We say Brahma is the father of all creation. He is the creator, correct. And he is also one of the Mahajans. So he is number one Mahajan. Second comes Narad Muni. So we have also spoken about Narad Muni, how Narad Muni, through his example, how he has preached, how he has made disciples, how he has changed people's mind, whether it's a jiva, human, or it's a Rakshasa Yoni, like, Prahlad Maharaj. He is son of, correct, Hiranyakashipu's son, right? So who is Hiranyakashipu? He's a Rakshasa. Yeah, he's a demon. So in demon's house, a devotee is coming. Yeah. So it's been done, this heart transformation has been done by Narad Muni only. Then the third one, which we are going to discuss today, is Shiv. Mahadev Shiv Shankar. So Shivji is one of the 12 Mahajans. Through his examples, he has taught us how we should be following dharma. How we should be following a dharma of a grahastha. Because so far, Brahmaji was a bachelor kind of, right? He is a single man. Narad Muni is also a bachelor. Now this is the first Mahajan who is coming under the lineage, and he is a grahastha. He has a wife, he has children, and he has a very big job to look after the whole universe. So today we are going to talk about Shivji. Yeah. This is the other way. Okay. Thank you. So, yeah. So, Har Har Mahadev ki Jai. Jai Shiva Shankar. So, the topic of today is Shiv Shankar. So, before I start, can you tell me what do you know about Shivji? He's a Vaishnava. Wow, thank you. Yeah, he takes care of the destruction. Yes.
He was actually the first Vaishnava.
Yes, he is the first Vaishnava. Yeah.
Easily pleased.
He is easily pleased. Yeah, there's a name for that. Ashutosh. Yes, exactly. Oh, wow. You know that. Easily pleased. Yes. He drank the poison during Samudra Manthan, and he kept that poison in his kantha. That's why he is called as Neelakantha. Yeah. Anyone else? He is the personification of Tamoguna. Now, Tamoguna, what is Tamoguna? Ignorance. So, he is the personification of ignorance, but that doesn't mean that he is in ignorance. It's a very gross knowledge. Please don't misunderstand. And if you feel that I'm going wrong, please raise your hand, because I may not be going wrong. Maybe you are understanding it in a wrong way. So he is personification of mode of ignorance. Yeah, just like river Ganga. How many of you know there is Ganga river? Almost everyone. Yeah. Now, how many of you know that Ganga river is a non-living entity, right? If we ask a child what is living entity, what is non-living entity, so Ganga river is a non-living entity. But there is a personification. So I hope all of you know that Ganga Devi, she is a personification of Ganga river. So a human, like a jiva, is actually personification of that. So same like that, there are Mandarachal Parvat. There is a personification of Mandarachal Parvat. There is a jiva which is personified of that Mandarachal Parvat. So similarly, this mode of passion, mode of ignorance, and mode of goodness, They all have a deity personified. Specific deities for these mode of material nature. So, for mode of goodness, who is the deity personified? No? Brahma. Brahma is mode of goodness. Vishnu is mode of passion. Because he is in mode of passion, that's why he is able to reciprocate. You know, there are people who don't like him, there are people who like him. He's taking care of it. You know, even in relationship, if a boy looks at a girl, he likes the girl, it's very easy to start a relationship, right? If a boy doesn't like the girl, she's not listening to her, he's not listening to him, it's very easy to break the relationship. But what's the hardest part? To maintain the relationship. And I am pretty sure you all agree with this. To maintain a relationship is the prettiest, hardest job in the world. That comes under mode of passion. That's what Vishnu is looking after. And mode of ignorance, personification is Lord Shiva. So he is taking care of all those who are under mode of ignorance. And that's why majority, yes Mataji? Yeah, isn't it? It looks like that, yeah? No, but in Shastras it is written goodness is being taken care by Brahmaji. And the passion has been taken care by Vishnu. When you create, you are in mode of goodness. When you maintain, you have both the mellows which you are holding together. That's why. I know it's a bit difficult. Yeah. Yeah, even I read it twice. Am I reading it correctly? Yeah. So, yeah. Mode of passion is by Vishnu. So it doesn't mean that he is in mode of passion. He's not in mode. They all are beyond goodness. They are just taking care of it as a part and parcel of maintaining this whole universe. So the universe is contains 7 hellish planet and 6 heavenly planet plus Earth. So 14 planets. So to maintain this 14 planets, among with other jivas, these 3 modes of passion, modes of material nature is what ruling the whole universe. So mode of material nature, and then how many of you know Trimurti? Correct. It falls under the same mode of material nature. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. So they are maintaining. Someone is creating, someone is maintaining, and someone is destroying. We need all these things to maintain the whole universe. Yeah. Now there are tattvas also. Like few, if we go one level up, it's the tattva of Shiva tattva. Just like how Shiva tattva, Brahmaji on the top. It is said in the Shastras that every jiva who is in Earth planet has been once upon a time Brahma. So we all had the chance to serve the Lord being in a Brahma's position. So Brahma is a position. It's not the name of a person. Just like Mr. President, Mr. Principal. So it's not the name, it's the position. So every one of us, like jivas, have the potency, we have the power to go to Brahma Loka to serve the Lord through Brahmaji's post. But the jivas doesn't have the potency, and the jivas cannot be Shiva tattva. So Brahma tattva is different and Shiva tattva is different. Shiva is something which is like paraspar viparit. Like in one hand he is creating and another hand he is destroying. So Shiva is actually the father of all the living entity in the world. Brahma is the creator and Shiva is the father. Through Shiva and Parvati, this whole universe, the jivas are coming into existence. So in one hand he is creating and in another hand he is the personification of mode of ignorance who is destroying. So it's pretty hard for a normal person like me to understand what is Shiva tattva. and where the Shiva Tattva is sitting. So this is where we often make mistakes, that Shiva is something who can be easily taken care of or who can be easily copied. That's why we see people under the name of Shiva, they are smoking, they are drinking. It's a myth. It's a wrong understanding. Because Shiva drank the wish, so will we drink the wish? Should we drink the wish also? We cannot. The things which these great personification they do, we cannot copy them. The best thing is we should follow that he has taken care of the world when world needed him most. He was there when no one was there to take care of the world. So based on those parts, none of the Jiva Tattva cannot reach to the Shiva Tattva. The Shiva Tattva is somewhere in middle of the universe. Like, see, if you see an oval shape, so the oval shape is actually the universe, and beyond the oval shape comes the other circumference, which is the main dham of the Krishna Loka, Vaikuntha, all those great dhams comes there. Now Shiva Tattva, the Rudra Tattva, comes in the between. It's like the transit. You're going from Sydney to India, you transit somewhere in Singapore, Malaysia, based on what airlines you're going. So it's like that transit. So what he does is he checks whether you are carrying the right documents, whether passports is there, whether visa is correct or not. So he's checking all those through how? Your behavior, obviously. How we maintain our relationship, how we take care of each other, how we give respect, how we are forming our bhakti, cultivating our bhakti, our love to the God. And if our bhakti and cultivation of this spiritual power is as per what Shiva has put down as a list, then he brings that person to the above. So he is a reference. Like when you get a job, you look for a reference, right? A referee is very important in a job application. So he is kind of a reference that, oh Lord, this person is a very pious person. He has been doing da 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 da. So please accept him. So Lord sees through him. Even in Granthas, it is said that if you really want to worship Vishnu, you have to worship his devotees. So Vishnu, we cannot directly reach to the main CEO or the principal, or in a school, if you want to talk to someone, you first write an email, right? You don't write an email directly to the principal unless you are a relative of a principal. That's a different story. But you go via someone, right? So that via is the Vaishnavas. That via are the servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. The person who is serving Lord's servant, they are the vias, they are the medium through which we can reach God. We cannot reach God directly. We don't have that potency. Otherwise we wouldn't have been sitting here in earth. Not in temple, I'm saying in earth. The jivas. So the very prominent shloka of our this Paraspar Viparit and simultaneously opposite Achinta Bhedabhed Tattva, where the Lord is, where Lord Shiva is appearing as savior, and the other hand, when it is the end of the world, through his Tandav Nritya, he is actually supporting and helping the Lord in sucking up all these jivas who still have a small tinge of material enjoyment, sense enjoyment. They are all being sucked through Shiva to the Lord, where he does the last dance, which is what Mahakaleshwar, the appearance has come up. So in our Shastras also we say that Vaishnava Nam Yatha Shambho. So whenever there is, like he is also called as Devadi Dev Mahadev. Yeah, so he is among all the devtas, he is the primeval. He is the one who is top of all the devtas. And through him and his wife Parvati, he has created all the jivas. So our material father is actually Shiva and Parvati. Our material source of coming to this earth is actually the couple, the Shiva and Parvati. Through them, we have come to this earth. And definitely, if we want to go back to Lord, we have to go back through him. So, the understanding that Shiva is the tattva where we can reach to the Lord, and Shiva is the tattva where we can be corrected. So he can be strong at some point, and where he can be very caring and loving at some point. Shiva's through 4 sampradayas also, like the Shri Sampradaya, Brahma Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, and Kumara Sampradaya. So the sampradayas are also one of Shiva's, is the Rudra Sampradaya, which has been distributed, the knowledge has been distributed through Vishnu Swami. So people who are Rudra Sampradaya, people who follow Rudra Sampradaya, they have their Acharya as Vishnu Swami. Vishnu Swami is the one who has preached, who has taught this Shiva Tattva to the people in general. Brahma's, through different Upanishad also, we have understood who is Shiva. So there are around 14 Upanishads which has spoken about what is this Shiva Tattva is, what is this Rudra Tattva is. And there are like 5 Puranas which is also talked about Shiva and Shiva Tattva. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, just like among the rivers, the greatest is Ganga river. Among the deities, the greatest is Achyuta, which is Lord Narayan. Among the Puranas, Srimad Bhagavatam is the topmost, and among the Vaishnavas, Shambho is the topmost. So Shiva, the Mahadev Shiv Shankar is one of the primeval who is teaching us how a Vaishnava should behave, how a Vaishnava should take this spiritual knowledge into the next level where he can attain the moksha. There is a story where Prachin Bhari, it's the name of the king, who after his marriage, he begets 10 children. And these 10 children name Prachetas. So once these 10 boys were like 5-7 years old, 5-7 years old children, father orders them, King Prachinbari orders them that go to a sacred place and do tapasya there and try to attain Narayan. So these boys, okay, as they heard father has given them order, they started their journey towards the sacred place, mountain. And during their journey, in the middle they met Narad Muni. So Narad Muni asked, where are you going? So these 10 boys, they said that we have been ordered by our father to go to the sacred place and do the tapasya, austerity, to gain Narayan. So Narad Muni said, okay, then let me get back to you. Let me go to Narayan, check with him, and then come back to you. So which is the best way for you to attain him? So the boys said, okay, fine, we are waiting here. You go and come back. So Narad Muni goes to Narayan and he comes back saying to this Prachetas that, look, I have been told that the best way to attain Narayan is to do Shiva's Aradhana. So go and sit on the sacred place and do Shiva Aradhana. So these Prachetas, they were actually guided by Narayan only to do the austerity on Shiva. So Shiva, why Shiva? I mean, they could have done directly to Narayan. That's through them only. The Lord is actually telling us that it is not easy to approach the Lord directly. It is always best and best practice to approach the Lord via Lord's devotee, via Lord's servants, via Lord's Shubchintak or whoever is following the same thing. So when Shiva saw these 10 kids, they have come to him, Shiva immediately got really happy and he came to see them. And he said, If it would have been some others, I wouldn't have come out of my dham and met you all. But because you are trying to please Narayan and you have come to me to satisfy, to fulfill this desire, I'm very happy, and I'm very, very, as he said, that he gets pleased very easily. So I'm very happy, and I'm giving you the way to go to Narayana. So the understanding of Narayana, these boys got through Shiva. Shiva helped them. So Shiva was the first guru. Also in another story where Shiva has helped the disciples of Lord Narayana to approach to Lord Narayana in the way those people can do it. We have also heard about the 12 Jyotirlingas, where each of the Jyotirlinga has its potency to make us purify our heart to go back to Godhead. The Jyotirlinga also comes up with the stories. There are lots of stories on each Jyotirlinga, how the Jyotirlinga manifested, how they have come to earth, and from there how people have started doing worshipping, how people understand this. There is also another say where people who are in mode of ignorance, people who are understanding that the level of the hierarchy of the lords is via the sense gratification. That's where they come to Shiva, because they are at a very young stage of their understanding of spirituality. So the people can say that why we say that Shiva and Shiva Bhaktas are not that great, why Vishnu Bhaktas. There are so many fights even among the deities, like this deity is the most powerful, that deity is the most topmost. And also people might say that okay, if Vishnu knows everything, if Vishnu is seated in everyone's heart, then why not Vishnu telling us that what is the topmost taste, or what is the topmost achievement for a jiva? Now, if a small child, like kindergarten child, if you tell the kindergarten child that a square plus b square is c square, the child wouldn't understand that. It would be hard for the child. What are you telling, Papa? Mummy, a plus b, c, it's alphabets, it's not numbers. So then you correct, okay, fine, sorry. So 1 plus 1 is 2, and 2 minus 1 is 1. That child can understand easily. But the same child, when he grows to year 8, and then you tell him the calculus, the alpha, beta, tan, cos, theta, all those things, then he will understand. But does that mean that 1 plus 1, 2 is not correct? It doesn't mean that 1 plus 1, 2 is not correct. But it's as per the child's capacity, is as per the child's taking, how much the capacity, how much he can take, we can give. So 1 plus 1, 2 for him on that stage of life was right. And now a plus b is c for him is also correct. So based on our understanding, we follow certain beliefs, faiths. But that doesn't mean that because we are following Shiva, because we are following Brahma, because we are following Vishnu, we are wrong, we are correct based on the names I have said. It's based on our understanding, whatever we are convinced with. So if Shiva Bhakta says that yes, Shiva is the supreme, yes, Shiva is the supreme, because in this earth, in this material universe, Shiva is the only controller. Lord has given him the power to control this whole universe. So he is the controller, he is the father. So definitely he is the supreme. But for those people who have that level of understanding. So 1 plus 1, 2. But when you want to know something more, then you grow up. Okay, I know Shiva is the maintainer of this universe. But from where he is getting that energy? Who is maintaining him? So we are learning one step up. So from like 1 plus 1, 2, now we are going to 5 times 5, 25. So okay, we are now growing. So we grow the next level to understand who is the powerhouse for Shiva. So the powerhouse for Shiva is then we understand there is something beyond Shiva. That's beyond Shiva is where we need to be very careful that Shiva is actually a potency of Vishnu, a potency of Krishna. So from that potency, he is maintaining this universe. He is maintaining this Brahmanda, the jivas in it. So here, I'm not trying to tell you who is great and who is not great. All I'm trying to tell you is when a child in kindergarten says 1 plus 1 is 2 is correct, and a child when he is in year 8 standard and he is saying a square plus b square is c square is also correct. So I'm trying to tell here that understanding of Shiva and Shiva Tattva obviously in itself is very confusing, but there is no need and there is not required for us to fight, because that's what we always have this conflict. Like Christians, they come with say, oh, we have got only one God. You've got so many gods. Oh, you guys always fight about God. Who is the main? Who is the main God? We have Devi, Devtas, so many Devi, Devtas. So, if we are, convinced in ourselves, then only we can argue or sit in front of those people who always, point finger on us, saying there are so many gods, demigods. Which one do you follow? Which one do you pray? So for us to understand this one is as per our understanding, as per our capacity to take, we take it. So if a Shiva Bhakta is doing a Shiv's Aradhana, there is nothing wrong in it. That's because he is in that stage. He is doing it. And when you are really a Shiva Bhakta and when you are really devoted yourself to Shiv, Shiv will give you the knowledge. Shivji will give you the capacity to understand that next where you go. After year 1, year 2, you go to year 3 and 4, you move. You don't stay in that level. It is also mentioned in Shastras that, when a jiva, obviously I hope you all know that we all take birth. Yeah? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. It's constant. It's going on. It's a circle. So after this death, we get another body based on what karma we have done. So this circle, there are innumerable circles we have done. We have taken birth so many times in this world. And so many times we have been doing so many other ritualistic activity. We have been involved in maybe not scriptural activity at all, maybe not spiritual activity at all, but maybe sometimes we have involved in. So in Shastras it's written, once after you go through like 20 lifetimes of being Shiva Bhakta, then you move on to Vishnu Tattva. So Vishnu Tattva is something, so like how Bible is, has anyone read Bible? You have read Bible. So can you tell in like short, one sentence also, what does Bible's main teaching?
Do unto others as you would like to have them done unto you. So just treat everybody the way you would like to be treated.
Correct.
That's the main message.
Yeah, so there are 10 commandments.
Yeah.
Yeah, do's and don'ts, isn't it?
You got to follow the rules and the guidelines.
Correct.
The 10 commandments.
Right. Yep. So you also have read Bible, right? You have? Yeah. Yes. Yes. So after reading Bible, what made you to come to temple? With him. Oh, okay. Sorry. So I have seen people when they read Bible, they want to know more. Yeah, we understand what is do, what is don't. We understand what are the ethical grounds on which we should be living on, and we understand we should not mistreat others because we don't want to be mistreated. Yeah, those are basic ethical understanding. So when Jesus Christ was actually preaching this to his disciples or the followers, basically he wanted to tell more, but the followers were not ready to take, because they were in kindergarten. 1 plus 1, 2. For them, 1 plus 1, 2 is enough. They don't want to know 5 times 5 is 25. It's too hard for them. So their level of understanding didn't allow Jesus Christ to move forward. So if you want to move forward, then you want to know the books. You want to read the books. And which books are those? Those are our Shastras. So Jesus Christ couldn't continue ahead of do's and don'ts. He could only tell people, he could only bring those people to that level of do's and don'ts only. Do this is good for you. Don't do this is not good for you. And you should not hurt people. You should not kill anyone, things like that. But when people read those parts and they want to learn, so there is the desire in the jiva's heart, a desire to learn more, a desire to know more than what his do's and don'ts are. And that's where you get a transformation, and that's where you look around, that's where you go out of the place where you are learning those do's and don'ts, and this is where you move out of that area. This is where you go to Shiva. Shiva tells you how to understand the next level of understanding. So when we have got 10 out of 10 exams done, good, so you move out, you get promoted to the next level of class, which is year 2 or year 3. When you go through year 2 or year 3 syllabus, then its timetables comes up. It's pretty hard than minus and plus. So that's where the tattvas come up. The tattvas tells you that this is what you're understanding. So if someone doesn't want to know anything more, if someone doesn't want to understand anymore, he stays there. He doesn't move forward. And Shiva also looks that if he doesn't want to know anything further, let him be here. So which is that oval circle. Let him be here in this oval circle. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. Let him go through all these yonis, different species of life. But if someone wants to know more, then obviously he strives to look out from that oval, from that universal shape. Then he looks for different books, different preachers, teachers. That's where this different books comes, where they teach you. Our main, we don't have to go anywhere else. Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. It's beyond do's and don'ts, right? So coming to that level, Shivji takes them to further to the above level of spirituality. And people can also ask that if that's the thing, if we all know, why not everyone's level are same? So in Bhagavad Gita it said, Yom Yom Yam Yam Tanum Bhakta Shraddhayam Artum Ichchati. Whatever Shraddha we have in our heart, whomever we want to. So love is nothing we can push. Love is not something we can dominate. You have to love me. You have to do things for me. So out of love you have to do. We cannot force love to someone. So what in Bhagavad Gita, what Lord is saying, that if someone is, because Lord is seated in everyone's heart as Paramatma, if someone is desiring to worship someone and their faith is steady in that, I will make all the particular things in such a way that he worships and he continues his faith. So Lord Vishnu or Krishna will not intervene in your faith, will not come in between saying that you should not do this, you should not do this, because it's a force. You cannot force love. So through this shloka only, we can understand that Lord is not going to force us. It's through our own free will, it's through our desire we move ahead. That's where we say that we have a free will. When we are jiva, when we are in this world, we have a free will. What free will is? Where it's like a cow who has been tied in a rope, and the cow's point of tie is this, say suppose this pillar. The cow goes around everywhere. So the cow grazes the grass from that level till his rope is, right? For the cow, he will be thinking, oh, this grass is also mine, that grass is also mine, so I've got a free will to go anywhere. So we also have that knot, that bond, the three modes of material nature is the string. And we are roaming around this pillar through that three modes of material nature, and whatever we desire is between that three mode of material nature. But there is a free will, the small free will, the free will which is given to us, and through that free will we desire to know more. Okay, I know this is my radius, I know this is my diameter, but I want to know more. What is beyond this radius and diameter? That free will, when we use it, utilize it, then the Lord gives us the opportunity to grow more. And Lord doesn't interact directly with us. So Lord interact through Shiva, the other demigods, the Devi Devtas. And that's through them we understand how there is the world beyond this circle. How there is the understanding beyond this circle. Does anyone has any question? Because I can't go any further. Yes, please.
So that's so that our free will is limited, right? So
Yes.
it depends on God's grace and God's approval,
Correct.
Krishna's approval, how far we can go.
Correct.
So it's not limitless. I mean our free will.
Yes, in a way. Yes. Yes. Anyone else want to share anything? Who are there any people from South India? Oh, quite a lot. So, do you guys go to this temple, Ranganathan temple? Have you visited Ranganathan temple? So, the deities in Ranganathan temple, who are those deities? Does anyone knows? Yeah, I mean, obviously, Ranganathan Swami. It's a name of which deity? Sorry? Ananta Shayanam means you are lying on a casual ocean. Yeah, but then who is lying? Yeah, Vishnu, Narayan. Narayan, isn't it? I haven't visited that temple, but I have heard in that temple how the universe is being brought up, the diagrams of. Does anyone has seen it? So if next time you go, please make sure you see. So there are diagrams, there are chakras, like there are 12 chakras around Ranganatham, and each chakra is actually representing the tattvas. There are the acharyas who have taught. There are in one of that has a Shankarshana as well. So Shankarshana is Shiva Tattva, but then it is not Shiva Tattva. So it's Shiva, but it is a Vishnu Tattva. So pretty hard to understand unless you go and see it. And this is where it comes that Shiva, understanding Shiva is simultaneously one and different. How come Shiva in Vishnu Tattva? That's where it is very nicely explained. I have only heard, I haven't seen it. So I was just checking if anyone of you has seen it and remember it. Okay, so I will stop here. We have the Sandhya Aarti after that. And then the prasadam is anyways there, always. So, okay, so we will finish here. Har Har Mahadev ki jai, Shiv Shankar ki jai, 12 Mahajans ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai.